Today, I'm going to show you 2 simple ways to speak more powerfully in English. Now, these techniques, once you start using them, will not only help people to understand you better, but also to pay attention to what you're saying and to respect what you're saying more. And therefore, you will come across as a more confident speaker in English. Okay? Would you like to do that? Let's get started. The first way is simply to remove the contraction. What is a contraction? A contraction is when we combine 2 words. For example, instead of saying I will, we say I'll. So I'll is the contraction, right? Instead of saying I am, we say I'm. So I'm is the contraction. But now what we're going to do is we are going to remove these contractions. Not all the time, but at certain times when you want to speak more powerfully and clearly. Let's look at an example and you'll understand very easily how powerful this technique is and how useful it is. Okay, let's try it. So instead of saying to John, yes, John, that's important. Let's say John said something, okay, and you say, yes, John, that's important. Nothing wrong with that. Or we could say, yes, John, that is important. What did we do? We took away the contraction. We removed the contraction. Yes, John, that is important. John feels heard also, right? Next, instead of saying to Mary, yes, Mary, you're right. It's been a hard week. You could say that. Or, yes, Mary, it has been a hard week. Now Mary feels validated. Mary feels more connected to you also because you're agreeing with her so powerfully. Okay? So this will also improve your connection with people. Let's look at another example. Here, before we get to the other example, so here what we did is we were strengthening it, right? We were confirming that. Here we are clarifying or correcting it. So for example, if someone says to you, so you're not available tomorrow, right? And you say, no, I'm available tomorrow. Or, no, I am available tomorrow. So you want to emphasize, you want to clarify and correct what that other person was saying. Yes, I am available tomorrow. Or someone says, you haven't completed the project yet, right? And you say, yeah, we've completed the project. Sounds okay, not very impressive. And completing a project is something important, right? So you can say instead, no, we have completed the project. We are so proud. We have completed it. Get it? So what did we do in all cases? We removed the contraction. You can't speak like this all the time. You cannot speak like this all the time. But definitely at certain points, when you use this strategy, you will sound much more powerful. Now, what's another way to sound even stronger? That is to remove the negative contraction. You got it, right. Let's see how it works, okay? And again, we can use this in business, in academic contexts, personal situations, social situations, anything, okay? Let's see how it sounds. Instead of saying, they can't meet the project deadline. Or some people might just say it really fast. They can't meet the project deadline. And the person sometimes doesn't even hear the word can't. Because if you don't say that correctly, it can sound like they can. And then you're giving the wrong message, not just a weak message, but a wrong message. So here you could say for sure, they cannot meet the project deadline. And yes, cannot is one word, okay? They cannot meet the project deadline. So when someone hears that, they will hear you clearly, there'll be no mistakes, and it's very, very strong. Next, the professor didn't agree. Or, the professor did not agree. The professor did not agree. Again, you can feel the difference, right? I know. The next one, she hasn't received her visa yet. Or, she has not received her visa yet. Okay? And another one, I won't be able to attend the meeting. Again, if you don't say this word clearly, people may misunderstand you. So break it up. Break up the negative contraction, right? And say, I will not be able to attend the meeting. Okay? That way your not, in all cases, is very clear and independent. And the message is also very clear and also not mistaken. All right? And you'll sound much better. People will enjoy speaking to you more. And because, why? Because they understand you now, right away, easily, quickly. All right? Okay, now let's do a little practice to make sure you've mastered this. So before we begin our practice, please know this is one of a series of lessons that we have on how to speak more powerfully in English. So watch the other lessons as well. Now let's begin. I'm going to read the contracted sentence, and then you tell me the full form, and then we'll say them aloud together. This is the best way for you to really feel the difference. All right? So here's the first one. We're the best team. How can you improve that? We are the best team. Say it with me. We are the best team. And if you can do this, that's even better, okay? A little bit of body language. We are the best team. Next, I wouldn't recommend that company. Find the contraction, remove it, say the full form. What is it? I would not recommend that company. Say it with me. I would not recommend that company. Good for you. That's a firm sentence. Next, that's a good idea. Or, say it with me. That is a good idea. That is a good idea. Number 4, they shouldn't sign the contract. What would that be? They should not sign the contract. Repeat after me. They should not sign the contract. Also, you see, it's so important because if you say this word really fast, people might not even hear that negative part, right? They shouldn't sign the contract. What did he say? Positive, negative, I should, I shouldn't. What did they say, right? They should not sign the contract is very clear. Next, don't worry, I'll call you tonight. Now let's say this is something really important. So you want to make sure that the person doesn't worry. So you say, don't worry, I will call you tonight. Let's say it together. Don't worry, I will call you tonight. Great. Number 6, the employees haven't returned yet. Say the full form. The employees have not returned yet. Say it together. The employees have not returned yet. Okay, you're really emphasizing that. As I said, sometimes you're clarifying because somebody thinks the employees have returned, but they have not. You want to emphasize it. In all cases, you're emphasizing something by confirming it or by clarifying and correcting it. Okay? Next, let's say somebody misses their flight and they're worried and they go to the airline counter and then the person said, there's a flight tonight. Or, there is a flight tonight. Say it with me. There is a flight tonight. Don't worry. Okay? Next, number 8. They've sent the invoice. Say it with me now. They have sent the invoice. They have sent the invoice. In this case, you might not be happy, but that's the fact. You have to clarify it, right? Next, number 9. We've reviewed the data or data, pronounced both ways. We've reviewed the data. We have reviewed the data. Say it with me. We have reviewed the data. And it's fine. It's correct. It's accurate. Okay, like that. You're emphasizing it. And the last one, they don't want to sell the house. What's the full form? They do not want to sell the house. Repeat after me. They do not want to sell the house. Did you feel the difference when you were saying these? Don't they sound so much stronger, clearer? And there's no question what anybody is going to understand when you speak like this. All right? So start doing this from today. Say the sentences out loud. Go back if you need to. Practice again. But say the sentences out loud. It's not enough to think them in your head because this is about speaking. All right? And as I said, this is a series, so watch the other lessons. You will become a more powerful English speaker. Thanks for watching. All the best with your English.